Good morning, this is day 2 of my peak pilgrimage. I am nearly ready to go now. I'm just waiting for my phone to charge to 100%. It didn't charge properly last night. I could have sworn I plugged it in, but the cable was dangling this morning and my phone was on like 10% again. So I'm setting out a little bit later than planned, but I'm okay with that. I'm not in any mega rush. It looks like an absolutely gorgeous day outside again. I am so fortunate to have the sun with me today, so hopefully it'll stick around. I had a really nice breakfast here, following a really good night's sleep actually. It's probably the best night's sleep I've had in a while. So I would recommend this place. It's lovely and quiet and peaceful. The breakfast was nice, it's kind of traditional, but there was veggie options, so I was happy. Right, I have my bag packed and let's check now to see where we're at. Oh, 99%, nearly there. I'm tempted to unplug it now, but I feel like the phone is metaphorical for me. This journey is all about recharging and not rushing it and getting to 100% charge, not 99, but 100. We're nearly there. It's so lovely to be immersed in all this bird song this morning. The birds seem pretty happy today. I use the Merlin app to find out what the birds are because I'm not familiar with all of their little songs, but it sounds like there's a blackcap, a chaffinch and a willow warbler around, and a robin. And amongst them somewhere is a crow. Oh, a little wren. Garden warbler. Wow, great tip, the list is being added to. That's amazing, so many little birds in one little space. Just like a symphony, like an orchestra of little birds. Nature's really has got everything, hasn't it? I find it so soothing. I'm coming now to the Tissington Trail. It's very quiet this morning. I've arrived here now at the Hartington signal box. So this is where the Hartington train station would have originally been. It was last used in, I think, the 1960s, and then this was just made into a very long footpath for people to come and use, cycle, walk. It's nice and flat, it's really easy, and I'm going to be on here for a total of 4 miles. And it says Parsley Hay 2 miles, so that's going to be my next little stop off. Being joined by a skylark this morning. I don't know if the microphone from the camera's picking it up. It's a really lovely backdrop. That's all I can hear really, apart from my own footsteps. A distant plane somewhere, but it's just so peaceful out here this morning. I think a pilgrimage is all about actually, well for me, this part of it is having a lot of silence just to think and reflect. It's funny because in the day-to-day, I think we're all prone to a bit of overthinking, and that can really kind of scramble things for us, and it's hard to get clarity. We can feel anxious and stressed out. So in some ways, I don't know, you might imagine that being alone with your own thoughts out in nature wouldn't be a good thing, but actually for me it feels like those thoughts are lightening. My mind is becoming clearer already, and that's only from, not even 2 days yet of hiking. There's a part of me today that thought, oh okay, yeah, the Tissington Trail, it's just straight and it's long, it's kind of straightforward, no surprises, but the view is absolutely beautiful up here, especially on a day like today. My Merlin app just showed up a common linnet, which is really, really exciting because I've never seen one or heard one or been anywhere near one. So I didn't get to see it, and I'm not sure which bird sound it was. The Common Linnets was a band that, I don't know if they won Eurovision, but they're in Eurovision, I think about 6 years ago, maybe longer. Sang that song, riding on a fast train, going round Market to sit beside me, keeps you on my mind. I could say I'm sorry, but I don't wanna lie. That one. I just wanna know it's changing. It's better than goodbye. Eat a linnet? I think that was a linnet. Make yourself known, bird. I think that's a chaffinch. Just as beautiful as a linnet. Happy to see that too. Old railway bridge, and then you go through and you can see where the land has literally just been sliced in two to make way for the railway back when it was made. I'm assuming it was made sometime in the 1800s. I always love it when you get trees that are in like a little copse with a stone wall around them. And I don't know if these were just kind of small bits of land that were divided or whether it's a special place. I think those trees, they're not hugely old, although yeah, some of them might be quite old. But some places you do get really old trees in a little area like that that's walled off, and I think it could be like an old burial site, or maybe it's like down here there's almost like a V shape of a wall with a couple of trees growing. I just wonder why such a small little area is walled off like that. I also would love to own one. I'd love to have one on my land, and I'd put fairy lights around it and spend time sitting out there moon watching at night. The Peak Pilgrimage is all about God and reconnecting with God, whatever that means to you as an individual. And I think they've become a little bit more popular recently as people feel a little bit disconnected from themselves, from their kind of spiritual selves. For me, God is nature. It's like this kind of force, the force of life, of being alive. The nature, the trees, the animals, us. And being out in all of that makes me feel more alive and more connected, and shuts out the noise that we've got around us all the time in our modern lives. It's kind of counter to how we've been made, really, and the kind of natural way that we live. So that's what this is about for me. Just come across some really nice little cabins. So I'll switch my camera around now so I can show you. So it looks like this is accommodation, but the field's kind of being used for sheep grazing, which is lovely. I mean, multifunctional. But they kind of look a bit old, like maybe they haven't been used for a long time, or that's intriguing. I'd love to buy a place like that and run it alongside retreats, wellbeing retreats for people, just to get away from it all and enjoy the outdoors like I'm doing now. There's a horse. Didn't expect that. This is Parsley Hay here. So they've got refreshments and toilets, etc. But I think I'm going to keep going because I've only just had breakfast, really. This looks like a little hobbit cottage. Oh, okay. It's a Istrian stone shelter gift from Croatia. Wow. This map's quite good here, so it shows you how the Tissington Trail meets the High Peak Trail here at Parsley Hay. So this morning I walked up from the Tissington Trail here at Hartington Station, which is where the signal box is, and then I walked up past Parsley Hay up to Hurdlow. Diary entry, I've gone off-piste and past the turn-off where I should have come off at Hurdlow and just carried on walking. It just shows what you can end up doing when you're in your own little world. So I retraced my steps a little bit. I found my way back now onto the right footpath. Don't do what I did and expect Hurdlow to be like a little village. It was just basically where I filmed that little sign that showed the trail map. It was just a bit further up there on the right that I needed to go, but I thought, oh, this can't actually be Hurdlow. Maybe I need to go a bit further through a village, and then I got lost in my own thoughts and didn't realise how far I'd gone. So just be aware of that if you're doing this walk. Here's my friend the A515 again. I've just crossed over from them there fields, and for anyone who's interested, there is camping here at Buller the Thorn, or whatever it's called. Doesn't look very open there, but there is a campsite here, and it's called Greystones Narwab. So anyone who wants to kind of stop off a little further on in the journey, then it could be a good option, especially if you're camping. Donkey sanctuary. There's some beautiful house martins playing around here, and they've been dipping and diving in front of me. It's just so joyful seeing them. It just makes me feel like, yes, spring is definitely well and truly here. And it's almost like all these beautiful sights and sounds like a reward for getting through winter, and that wintering we do, where you're walking along with your head down thinking, when's it going to be warm enough? It's another fenced off copse over there. What is that all about? Is it to protect the copse? I do wonder. Headed towards Monyash now. I've reached a bit of an interesting junction here where there's tracks going off in all directions. This little guidebook says that this building here was used by potholers until recently to get changed before they go into the local Not Low mine, which is around here somewhere. One of many mines that you get around Derbyshire. So I'm walking along and there's these little birds, and I thought, oh, there's some goldfinches, and they're playing around, and one went up to this hedge here, so I was watching it, and it came round, it circled my head, went back a couple of times, and then two landed on the wall just here. And then I thought, they look a bit bigger than goldfinches. So I took my my phone app and got the Merlin app on. They're linnets. So I got my linnet wish came true. One literally circled my head. It was like they were talking to me, like saying, here we are. That was really beautiful. I loved it. It's little moments like that that just mean so much to me. Gorgeous oak tree right near Monyash. I'm just arriving now in Monyash, which is very familiar to me. I've been here quite a few times before, and it's quite strange to be now in the surroundings of people. There's cars, there's people walking, I can hear people doing house improvements, I can hear school kids, and it's really juxtaposed with the peace that I've had for the majority of the day. But I'm also really pleased to get to civilization where I can get some food. It's the main part of Monyash here. You've got the old Smithy and the Bull's Head. It's really popular for bikers around here. I had to get an oat cake because that is the official dish of Derbyshire. I have to admit, I do actually miss seeing churches. This is the first one today, so this part of the walk doesn't really have many, and I'm actually quite looking forward to going inside and taking a little look around, hopefully getting my stamp and sticker as well. This is St Leonard's in Monyash. It's beautiful. Some beautiful flowers being arranged here, so there'll probably be a wedding. Monyash, an ancient settlement, appears in the Domesday Book as Manes, possibly from the Celtic for many waters, which we're going to get to very soon as I head out towards Lathkill. which is an absolutely stunning part of Derbyshire. It's one that we've walked across, or through I should say, many times, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a flapjack in my bag, top my water up at the old Smithy, and I'm going to sit and read my book for a little while. Spingle Barn. I don't know what spingle means, but it's a good word. Spingle. There's obviously been a lot of trees felled for some reason. This kind of starts to feel a little bit like you're entering some kind of fairyland, some kind of other, slightly other world. You know, I've seen grasses like this recently growing out of rocks, and they look like little beards, so they're now known as rock beards. Just came across a group of girls doing Duke of Edinburgh. I was having a little chat with them, they're really friendly, and then all of a sudden one of them said, "I can see the boys coming." And suddenly they're grabbing their packs and they want to crack on. I think their destination's Monyash. And I haven't seen the guys yet. Oh, I can see some very brightly coloured rucksacks now. I'll tell them that girls are well ahead of them. I've just come to this really interesting rock here. It's really flat. It kind of almost looks like it belongs to some kind of stone circle. I don't really know how it would have ended up there, but it's pretty hefty. Maybe it just broke off and fell from up here. Maybe not. You can see how people come up with myths and legends around here, and it's an ancient landscape. So who knows what went on, what druids might have been in the area and what they got up to. I think if fairies exist, they'd be around here, hobgoblins, and definitely dragons. Anywhere where I see cliff edges like this, I just visualise a dragon just perched on the edge, ready to fly, and then swooping with great majesty through the valley. This is how I amuse myself on walks on my own, set my imagination run wild. Just come across this really unusual little cave here. I mean, I'm assuming it's a cave. It could have been part of some mine quarrying. There's so much of that around here, so it could have been. Who knows? But I like to imagine it's a natural cave where the bears and the wolves that once roamed these lands lived. So if I carried on as I am, I'd probably get to Bakewell for 4 o'clock. So just probably about another hour or so. I'd say it's 3 or 4 miles, but I'm going to take my time because there's no rush. Up until this point, there really hasn't been much water in the riverbed, but then it starts to flow through. Apparently it is underground for much of the dale until you actually get through to this point here, and it comes from a cave, which I didn't spot, unless it was the one I stopped at before, who knows. I'm really glad that I've got some customers here. I've got a couple of ducks. So I bought some duck food at Milldale, as you well know, and I still haven't used it up. It's in my rucksack. And it's actually quite heavy, so I'm going to try and deposit it now to these 2 lovely little ducks. One of the old millstones that would have been used in the area, usually for making flour, I think. This little bit ends the stretch along Lathkill, and I'm now headed to over Haddon. That's embarrassing, I can just go around here. This hill is steep, Once you get to the top of it, you'll be fine. A little natural flower bed here. Just trying to get my breath back after going up that massive hill. And it's brought me here to what used to be the garden tea rooms, which is where we found Bella. It's now called the Garden Bed and Breakfast. It's run by a really lovely couple, and Karen is an incredible host, so if anyone's thinking about staying overnight in Haddon, definitely check that place out. This is the second church I'm visiting today. I've lost count now of how many in total, I think about 6. St Anne's Church over Haddon. It's a very beautiful, pretty little thing. This is really cool. I love the way they've done this. So peaceful. I love what they've done with the blue on the ceiling. Got my little book stand. I feel like I need to hold my arms up to walk along this path. It's pretty narrow. I had to just stop at the Lathkill hotel because the view is so beautiful. It'd be such a shame not to just stop and enjoy it for 5 minutes. So I had myself a 0 alcohol Erdinger, which was isotonic apparently, and full of B vitamins, just what I needed really, a little bit of a tonic. And I'm headed into Bakewell now, where I'm going to be staying for the night. So I've probably done about 11 miles now. Got about another mile and a bit to go. I'm now in Bakewell. I've already seen where I need to go for the B&B. I think it's through here. Yes, this looks right. This is Tannery House. I am so pleased with the room. It's super nice. I'm going to be very comfortable in here, I think. Bathroom's fab. Got everything I need. 24 miles done now. I don't know what that is. That's 5, which is far less than 24, but 12 miles today, 24 in total. I am now 2/3 of the way through my peak pilgrimage. I'm having such an epic time. I love it. Love it. So I'm going to go and search for food now. I think I'm going to go to the Chakra Lounge. There's one in Buxton, which is really good. So I'm going to check this one out now. And then I'm just going to settle down for the night.